So this is picking up on a short reading that I did about taking the leap of faith toward your dreams, what that really entails, and how much self-reliance and independence is truly needed in order to manifest our intentions. There is consistent work, 33 on the timer, that is required. But the most important thing is to be very conscientious about where we put our energy. When you have gone down a path where it is your magic prayer coming to life, it requires creating this bubble of intention, this egg with intention. Owls may be symbolic for you, butterflies as well. In order to create a new life, we have to leave the old one behind. 1, 2, 3 on the timer. You might be seeing 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. Even 3, 2, 1 countdown, ascending and descending numbers. We're getting signs all the time. Also crows, transitionary times come together. Something is coming together, something that you have been working on. A one-ring circus and the mountain. Yes. By yourself, self-reliance, independence, needing to create something purely from your vision and your determination. And it seems like that path has been happening for a long time, and now it's time for this next step on the path. But it feels like there has been one mountain to climb after another, always in a balancing act, a one ring circus by yourself. And it's like there is this vision, this newfound inspiration for the path where you know where to go. But it's almost like this has been such a big journey and you committed to this journey. But now when you're thinking about all the details of that path ahead, it seems like this really big mountain. Another mountain yet to climb. But I feel like maybe I'm here to give you this message that this magic prayer is coming about in a new way that you have experienced before. The magic stream, magic prayer, magic stream, and intention. And the and the animal cards just fell over, and rebirth, butterfly is right there. With love, the deer, you are protected. What you love is protected. You following the path of your heart is protected. It may not, this just flew off the deck again. So this must be pretty significant here. The path of the heart. The path of the heart is not an easy one. It is not an easy path. And people will judge you, and they will they will doubt you even while following you down the path. They'll see what you're doing. They might doubt you, be naysayers, when before they see what has sprouted, they'll look at the details on the physical plane and judge you from the end. Because people who do not have a commitment to their own soul path cannot truly understand, 456 on the timer, cannot truly understand what it means to follow that inner guidance that feels scary, that is a whole whirlwind of a path. But as they see you create the blueprint, these naysayers will still follow, however far behind they may be. You are creating a new pathway. Think about the people that you look up to, that you see creating things. That is your sign that you can do it, that you have an indestructible power within you, that you are a visionary. Giraffe and grizzly bear might be significant animals. Personal choice. Yeah, this is all about our personal choice. And I think that making that choice to follow that magic prayer and believe that it's going to come into form is terrifying. It is what takes the most bravery. And sometimes on that path, when you first feel that inspiration, but then you have a few too many dark night of the souls, right? And you get lost in the ghost lands with only yourself, right? Sad embrace, and this beautiful creature is the only one embracing themselves, the one who's bringing themselves to life. Again, the independence, the self-reliance, needing to be the one that believes in yourself, needing to be the one that has believed in yourself for a long time. And now here you are on this next leg of the journey, trying to heal some parts of you that maybe you had to put that healing on the back burner for a while just to survive and get through. The bone collector. Now it is time to collect all of the remnants of yourself, of your soul retrieval, healing all of those parts, all of those wounds that maybe weren't even acknowledged that they existed, right? Giving some time to listen. And elephants might be important. And elephants have the memory. So maybe some things that you didn't think you remembered, but now as you have healed and you have gone through yet another transformation, you are remembering and needing to heal. This is the Enchanted Map. Whew. Sorry, that was loud. Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, by the way. So it does feel like something has come apart on this journey, and you're trying to find your way, and your way is being set with intention right now. Like, it feels like there is a clarity about what you want, about what you are seeing for yourself. There's a clarity, but also like some exhaustion for how long the journey has been. Yes, one ring circus again, needing to do everything by yourself, having everything be a balancing act. It's like you don't want that moving forward. You see this new stage of life that you're creating, and you don't want that moving forward. There is a way to make it different now. Follow the leader coming up again. The fairy, let's see, just see. The fairy is leading the ducks, is leading the grasshopper, is leading the hawk, is leading the ducklings, is leading the goose. I don't know, that might be significant. I felt like I needed to say that. And the owl, again, with intention. There is, there's a reason for this deep freeze. This deep freeze where you're being faced with the goblins that are guarding your wishing well. The goblins are the fears, the what ifs from the past. 11:11 on the timer. Why am I getting like the what ifs? Like, what if this path of believing in something more? 1123, the angel numbers. What if all of this is just delusional? And to that, I have to say, I think I am there like multiple times a week. But that's healthy skepticism. But, seeing these angel numbers and signs and feeling those synchronicities and then allowing in the positive expectation allows those wishes to come true. It is scary going down a path where you have to have faith, where faith is what is being created every day with every action that we take. But again, this is about creating a world within. And I'm getting unexpected visitors. There is going, now this whole reading has been about the needing to do everything alone, and almost like needing to do everything alone for a long time, seeing that wish, needing to follow that wish, and being the only one to hold and maintain that vision. Maybe getting tired about that. Metamorphosis, again, the butterfly. There's already been a transformation. Why do I get that you don't see the extent of your transformation? Because the butterfly cannot really see their wings when they first come out of the cocoon, right? So why am I getting that you're still looking at this next phase as the old version of you doing it? But it's the new version of you doing it. It's time for the new version of you to do this life, to get to this phase. Make a commitment to clearing out the old and only focusing on the magic prayer and everything transforming from there, from the intention of the magic prayer, whatever that may be for you. But I'm seeing that it is a bubble of this life. And so right now, a bubble of this life, like we each create our own bubble of intention, of a feedback loop that we live in, that we exist in, and that's how we can create our own reality. 1414 on the timer. What we dream, we can bring into the manifest form. And there are ways that we can do this that can almost seem impossible to naysayers. But there is a community. There's a community that is coming up that are like-minded that have had to do the same thing to create a life and create a consistent existence off of their visions and their dreams, following the path of the heart, which does take courage. Our core, the French word "cœur" for heart, it takes courage to transform and surrender to the coming of the magic prayer. That is what is coming through here. And I really want to emphasize this point that I don't think you see how much you've already done, how much you've already transformed, that this next phase is going to be so much easier because of the frequency that you're bringing to it. So I think it's very important to have that daily schedule of mindset training around what it is that you're creating, and really seeing this life that is the next step for you as already have manifested. It's just through time. But part of that is the strength you're building every day, like, building muscle, going to the gym every day in whatever way, going to the mind gym, because the mountain, instead of focusing on the mountain, focus on the strength and the resilience that you have, that is being built, that has been built by the mountains that you have already faced, that you have already surpassed. Because the mountain and rock bottom, why do I feel like you have already come from this? Like you have already followed the magic stream to the next phase, and you hold this strength within you. You're just worried that this next step is going to be like the steps that you had to do before, which was like the most intense, laborious journey ever. And you're like, are the other journeys this way too? Because I don't know if I can take another journey like that. It doesn't feel like that's the same kind of journey. There's a new intention in this journey. Sometimes when we ask for something, when we call forth a new pathway, we then have to clear everything out. And so it takes us through the storm fields, right? But the storm is clearing. The storm is clearing, and you have transcended this old version of yourself. You have climbed to the mountain. In this journey of solitude, there has been a metamorphosis. And the elephant coming up again, greatness, there's something big. The raven and the shaman, there's something big that's meant to happen on this journey of following your heart. And right now, in this deep freeze, you don't see that underneath it is your journey of flying right to the top. A quantum leap, is going from the bottom of the mountain to the top, just like that, right? So I think that maybe you think that because there's stagnancy right now, you don't see how you can fly all the way. You're just thinking about each step up the mountain of this next mountain you've come across. But this time, again, healing in solitude is preparing you for the next phase. So be sure to be very clear with who you are. Be clear with your intention. Intention keeps coming out. The owl who sees through the darkness, who can see in all directions. Flying. Why do I get, the owl and solitude and flying? Needing to be the observer. It feels like you've had to be the observer for a very long time. But that has taught you something. It's taught you to be really clear about what you want. Because what is being created right now is what is being birthed from your intentions. And those intentions are coming from a higher place. 2040 on the timer. That is telling me that these old cycles, that there's big change coming about, and you're like a decision to change and close out old cycles of lack consciousness, of self-sabotage, all the fives and the uncomfortable dilemma that we face in the fives of not wanting to change but needing to accept the change in order to find that peace, needing to go through that phase. Because you're meant to lead this path. Again, follow the leader, and you're meant to be leading this path of going after what your heart calls for, and how that can transform us as people, as beings. We can face our shadow, we can walk with our shadow. We can go on the journey, even if we have to do everything alone. We'll still make it to the sacred pool, to the golden palace, as long as we have the courage to venture into the unknown. And that is exactly what you are doing. You had the strength to follow the magical stream, and now you are shifting what the map means. But right now, it might look like there's dry desert and mountains all around, right? Might look just like impossible terrain. But the sacred pool, the magic stream, these were not mirages. Okay, these were visions of what is to come ahead. There's a reason why this came across your path. There's a reason why you are being called to take these next steps. So as you take the consistent action to really focus on what it is you're creating, and that world where it is already created, and you do that every day, that is what is coming to be. That is your golden palace that you are creating around you with your actions. You are the one that can create it, and you will have that reciprocated to you from the universe, from people, from the energies and the physical actions. It is just a matter of time. So that is my reading for today. Let me get an angel number for advice, just to look out for. Because sometimes we just need those signs, and this 333 has come up a lot. Well, this is great. Okay, divine timing. We hate that word, divine timing, but things really do happen in divine timing when we just focus on what's ahead of us. Beautiful things can happen when we release the expectation. We actually can have the best outcomes to our expectations. 3333, divine timing. Realistic and practical approach to goals, divine timing, ambition, cooperation. You have the benefit of good fortune, and if you use your wise judgment, You can do anything. In this place, you can reach new heights. You should act on your potential when you see this pattern, since what you plant will grow. You're about to experience a spectacular ascent. An ascent. You're about to experience a spectacular ascent. Ascent up the mountain. Again, this mountain is going to feel like you just have flown up to the top. Good luck. Ladybugs, if you've seen ladybugs a lot, this is a sign of good luck, that there are energies on your side that are lifting you up to this next phase. Whew, that is a beautiful confirmation for me to leave you with. If you would like any further guidance on your specific situation, feel free to book a reading through the link in my bio. Go to embodiedsoulstudio.com/readings, where we can do tarot readings, astrology birth chart readings, current transits, combination of tarot and astrology readings, as well as, sound healings and meditations for some conscious reprogramming, because we've got to sometimes educate ourselves and brainwash ourselves on how to, have a better mindset. So anyway, I hope that this helps, and I'll see you in the next one. And, I'd love if you do all the things for the channel to help it get growing. So thanks.